Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here. So while scouring Reddit the other day, I came across a post talking about new hop-up ideas. Now the post is actually pretty well structured and looks pretty much how it would if, you know, some artists from Respawn had actually designed the hop-up images. Anyways, I wanted to talk about these hop-ups that the person came up with and talk about the current hop-ups in the game as of Season 3 in Apex Legends. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So the first new hop-up idea that this person had is the multi-ammo receiver. And the way they describe it allows to use light and heavy ammo in one. So the plus side of this attachment would be, or hop-up would be, use light and heavy ammo in one. Reduces the mag size and reduces the reload speed, and this would be for the flatline and the hemlock. Now this would allow you to use light ammo in a heavy weapon without any issues, but it would reduce the mag size and also reduce the reload speed. Now I don't really know why somebody would want such a hop-up on a weapon unless you're really running low on ammo, but generally speaking, I feel as though heavy and light ammo isn't the most uncommon thing to find in the game. And by using the light ammo for these weapons, they would more than likely use the benefits that they have of firing heavy rounds. Next, we have the Vampire Bites hop-up. So, withdraw shields from enemies to yourself. Now, I think that this would be pretty damn strong. So, the person says, plus withdraws shields from opponents to yourself, and the negative of this, reduce health damage by a massive amount. And this attachment would be available for the Havoc and Further Energy pistols. Now this would be incredibly strong in the beginning of a fight, seeing as generally speaking both parties have shields to begin with, and not only would you be damaging the other person's shield and they would be damaging yours, but you would be getting the shields that you are taking away from them and bringing them onto your own body shields. Now this, I believe, would be pretty damn overpowered, especially in the hands of a good player, just as the alternator with disruptor rounds was, and having after that the combo with the P2020 and hammer point rounds was in Season 2 of Apex Legends. If you're quick enough to swap weapons as soon as you hear the shield breaks, and then swap to another weapon that does really high flesh damage, or even like P2020 with hop-ups, yeah, that would be pretty overpowered, and in my opinion even more so than the disruptor rounds were in Season 2. Next, we have shocking rounds, so slows down enemies, as well as an electricity shell effect. Now I'm not sure what this actually means. I suspect it would do something similar to Watson's pylons when she puts them down to make fences around an area, and as soon as an enemy walks into them, it slows them down and reduces their turn speed, so mouse turn speed, pretty significantly. The negative of this attachment would be reduced damage and firing speed, and this would be for the hemlock and the long bow. Now, as far as I know, heavy ammo already reduces the speed of the target that you're shooting at if you hit them, and having that electricity shell effect, which reduces the movement at which you can move your mouse around, so your basic looking speed, this would be absolutely devastating as soon as you got hit by these rounds, as it is when you run through a Watson fence. If there's somebody waiting on the other side and they're to your either side of you, you pretty much won't have time to turn your mouse and aim towards them before getting downed. So I think that this one would be probably the most overpowered out of all of them. Next, we have Heat Induction hop-up, so firing thermite bullets like a flamethrower. So thermite effects on ground, walls, and enemies. It would have the same effect as the thermite grenade, I imagine, but it would reduce the direct damage of the shot. And this would replace the anvil receiver for the R301. Now the R301, right off the bat, I don't even think needs any kind of hop-ups. If you have a fully decked out R301 or even a stock R301, it is one of the easiest guns to control in the game. It does a decent amount of damage. The firing rate's pretty good. Generally speaking, you can shred people in a single magazine of this weapon if you land all your shots, even in the stock version. So I don't even think the R301 needed a hop-up such as the anvil receiver. I think there's a lot more downsides to the anvil receiver than there are upsides, but the heat induction one I think would probably get pretty annoying I think a lot of accidents would happen where people are too close to enemies and they would end up shooting this thing point blank and then in turn catching fire themselves. So this one, again, not too sure, but the whole post was really well constructed and designed, and I felt that it would actually be decent to talk about it. One idea that I really did like that this user Pain2G came up with is make the hop-ups more colorful, so not use yellow/gold. He says it confuses him every time there's a death box with like a turbocharger. So I get the idea behind this, that it would just make it so you don't run to death boxes which aren't gold for no reason to end up finding an anvil receiver or a turbocharger. In my opinion, they would probably have to make the death boxes multiple colors to adapt to what the box has in it. So if it had, right now how it works obviously is the highest loot tier item in there is the color that the box will be. So if there's at least one gold item in there, the whole box will be gold. If there's no gold items but purples, it will be purple, and so on. Now with this one, how would you categorize that? I really don't know. Would the green color, for example, take over on the legendary gold color of the box? Would you split it in half so that somebody knows that there is a gold piece of armor or equipment in there? And then the green for the vampire bites hop-ups. I like the idea behind this, but I'm not sure how they would actually implement this into the game. He also had two more ideas for weapon attachments, so a golden extended heavy mag, more damage but less range. I can see this being an absolute disaster, and a golden standard stock, which would allow to switch faster between weapons. Just to note, every stock already does this. It increases the speed of your weapon handling, so this is already in the game, but I think this person is trying to say that they would want something that's more than just the purple version of it. I do commend this person for the structure and the quality of this post, albeit the ideas, you know, maybe not the best. It was actually really well constructed, and I'm excited to see what other hop-ups Respawn will put into Apex Legends in the future. Now for the current weapon meta, I really don't like many of the hop-ups that were introduced in Season 3, so double tap and the anvil receiver. The anvil receiver, in my opinion, has too many downsides as opposed to the upsides that it offers. So it increases the damage of an individual shot, but it costs twice the ammo and it shoots at a much slower rate, with the bullet actually going a lot slower than it normally would. If the target isn't standing still, generally speaking, this isn't going to be very good. You're going to probably have a hard time hitting shots, and it uses twice the ammo, which is actually pretty significant if you're missing a lot of shots. If you're really good at aiming and getting headshots, then the anvil receiver is really good, but I generally don't even use it, even if I do have it equipped on my flatline or R301. I just figure, you know, going full auto and just track the target as they're moving around instead of having to deal with bullet lead and movement and how far they are and all these different things. Now for the double tap, as a starter hop up, when somebody doesn't have body armor, it is really strong on the G7 Scout and the EVA 8. I would have to use it a little bit more and actually use the G7 Scout and the EVA 8 more than I currently do. These two weapons aren't the ones I go to if I have the choice. They're usually throwaway weapons that I would pick up right off the bat, kill a couple people with them, and then swap weapons as soon as possible. Something that I wouldn't mind seeing is having the anvil receiver given to the hemlock, so people would actually pick up the hemlock, because when people do pick up the hemlock, 90% of the time, or even 99% of the time, they're going to use it on single fire. And right now the flatline is just miles ahead of the hemlock, and I don't believe that the flatline actually needs a hop up in order to get people to pick it up with the buffs that it got in Season 3. I think most of the weapons are actually in a pretty good spot right now. Of course, there are some weapons that are, you know, just never going to be really good no matter what they do to them. They're just good for the beginning of the match where you pick them up real quick and then swap them out as soon as possible. And these weapons that I'm talking about is like the Alternator, the RE45, and the Mozambique. All three of these weapons, in my opinion, are just always going to be pretty trash tier guns unless they do something to them, like, you know, completely break them like in Season 1 and give them disruptor rounds for the RE45 and the Alternator. So anyways, let me know your thoughts about these hop-up ideas in the comment section down below. If you have any ideas for future hop-ups, leave them down there as well. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. I apologize for my voice. I'm getting over a cold. It seems to be lingering on forever. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.